So awesome. I'm so articulate. Today I'm doing a New Year's tag. I know that it's a couple days past New Year's Eve, but it's definitely still the first week of 2015, so I felt like this was appropriate. So the first question is, I mean, this tag is a little bit outdated. It was created a couple years ago, and so it originally said 12 highlights from 2012. It's definitely not 2012 anymore, and I felt like it would be a lot to do, how many, like 14? So what I did instead was 12 highlights for the past 12 months. Working for the Mirror, which was my student newspaper this past year, I started as the news editor, and then the next semester I got to be the editor-in-chief of the paper, which was amazing. It was kind of like my dream job. For those of you who don't know, I do someday want to found my own magazine, and I feel like all of the skills that I learned were really, really relevant to what I want to do with my life. Getting to attend the Damon Runyon Award Banquet, all of the major schools in Colorado, they nominate their top 4 journalism students. I didn't actually win the award, I was only nominated. It was still really amazing just to be nominated because all the students were personally selected by the JMC faculty, and that's just amazing to know that my professors thought I was worthy. Next highlight, my best friend moved back to Colorado. Her name is Montserrat, and we have been friends for a very long time, since high school. We just have a great bond, you know. I just really love her, and for the past few years she hasn't been living in Colorado. She moved away, she joined the Navy, and I feel like we've done a good job of really keeping up our friendship and our connection while we've been apart, and it was just so nice to reconnect and to have our little girly talks in person. And now I'm really sad because I just moved to Florida, and so we're back to being a long-distance friendship, but I know that we'll make it work because we always do. Love you. Breaking up with my boyfriend. I don't know, it sounds kind of bad. It's like, I don't want this to come out in like a hater kind of way. Basically, we were together for 2.5 years, and we just shouldn't have been. I don't know, I'm just glad to move on because our relationship was really dramatic, and you know, like, love shouldn't be that hard. You should not be fighting all the time, crying, etc. Getting my teeth fixed. I had an accident a while ago and I chipped my front teeth. I actually chipped this tooth. It was like half of it was gone practically, and then I had like a couple others next to it that were a little bit chipped as well. And I was really upset about that because when I was younger I used to bite my nails a lot, and so my teeth were really twisted and just gnarly, and I got braces in high school, and that kind of fixed the problem. And so it was really upsetting to go back to not being proud at all of my smile. And so this summer I actually had surgery and I got veneers put on. Nobody noticed, like absolutely nobody except for my family and people who knew it was being done, but it just has really boosted my confidence. So I'm really happy to have a smile that I can be proud of. Going along with like breaking up with my boyfriend and just leaving the negativity behind in my life, I think a big highlight for me in 2014 was letting go of my sorority. You know, I really enjoyed it for a time, up to a certain point. But I think overall it was just an environment that wasn't good for me. First of all, Greek life, at least on my campus, really promotes this kind of like unhealthy culture of overworking yourself. You know, it's very common to leave the house at 8 a.m. and have meetings and events and classes all day long and not come home until like midnight or later. But it did teach me a lot about leadership, and I grew so much as a performer while on the SEP team. I figured out a lot of things about myself that I'm very happy with, but in the end, I think I don't know if it's just my sorority or if it's just all sororities, but I think jealousy is a huge issue, ego is a huge issue, and I just didn't feel like there were so many women who are incapable of detaching the business side from the personal side. And after a while, it got to a point where I was just kind of ostracized within my own chapter, and I just felt very disrespected and unappreciated a lot of the time, and it wasn't good for me, it wasn't healthy for me. It put me into a place where I always felt stressed out and angry and just upset, and I had really low self-esteem. I really, disliked myself. In college, I did kind of struggle with depression, and I feel like being in that environment was the most unhealthy thing for me, and I stuck around for so many years. And so I'm just really glad, because I really just made the effort to break away this year and to make sure that I'm just looking out for myself and for the light in my life, Copy editing for an online journal called The Talented 10th, which my friend Nick, well, I don't know, he really prefers to be called Nico. But I've always known him as Nick, so I always call him Nick. My bad. But yeah. I copy edit for this online journal. It's called The Talented 10th, and what it is a series of interviews with some kind of, up-and-coming artists and creative types in the New York area. It just has really shown me how much I love to edit. I would do that for real life. YouTube and my blog, I've really toyed around with starting a YouTube channel for a very long time now, and I was always too nervous and I didn't feel very confident, and to be honest, I still don't. I'm very but I just want to do it anyway. So I'm really glad that I finally bit the bullet and went for it. Along with that, I've had a blog for the past 2 years now, kind of on and off, and it's gone through a lot of different changes, and I feel like I finally settled on what I want. I finally bought the domain name to my blog, which is glitterbrains.com, and I'm just really happy because I feel like it makes it really official, and it doesn't seem like, just something I did in college. Discovering the work of Alan Watts. As I mentioned before, I've struggled a lot with just low self-esteem and depression and just wondering what my worth is and why I'm here. I think everyone goes through that phase. The very first time I heard Alan Watts speak, I felt like he was speaking directly to my soul. College graduation. I was in college for a very, very long time. It was really hard for me, actually. For a while there, it felt like I would never get out, and I felt very hopeless about everything. So being able to finish was really great, and on top of that, in my last semester, I got straight A's, and that is a huge deal. I don't mean I got A's at, in my classes. I mean, I got A's on every single assignment I turned in, every exam I took, every quiz I took. And I am extremely proud of that, because that's the kind of student I really am on the inside. I have some professors who wouldn't think that because I failed out of their classes. So it just felt really good to prove to myself that I could reach the potential I knew I had. Just getting to be around my extended family during the holidays, that almost never happens, ever, ever, ever. Both of my parents are from Belize, which is in Central America, and most of my family still lives there. It's so rare that I get to see my grandparents on Christmas. Awesome! I also had my Aunt Sharon and then my 2 cousins, Jelani and Lauren, who were visiting from California, kind of in honor of my graduation. It was just really, really, really nice to be around each other, to eat all the great food, and, get to make up dance choreography with each other, and, it was just great, a great bonding time. Getting out of Greeley, Colorado. I moved there when I was 15, and I absolutely hated it. I've gone through my ups and downs now with it. At some points I was like, Greeley's not so bad, but actually it is. It's not good. It's a wasteland. The next part of this tag is to list 14 highlights for 2014. Oh, no, not highlights. I don't know why I said that. 14 goals. Dang it. Oh man. 15 goals for 2015. The camera that I was using, which is this thing, it's a Samsung OIS Duo. First, the memory card filled up, so I transferred that onto my computer, and then when I put it back into my camera, I saw that my camera had died. So I had to charge the camera, and now it's still saying that the card is full. I don't know why. I don't know how to fix it. I am so bad with technology, so we'll just figure that out another day. For now, I am just filming the rest of this video on my iPhone. My first goal for 2015 is to connect more with myself and find a little bit more inner peace. I want to do that through meditation and also through reflection. Start running regularly. I hate running. I actually made a plan to start running sometime last year, and I went all of one time. I went once. I sometimes think it's important to work at the things that you dislike the most. Find a job. I just graduated college and I feel scared shitless that I don't have any source of income right now. Stick to a blog and video post schedule. I really see this as a test of really putting the skills that I've learned in college to use. Make real friends. As I mentioned earlier, I was in a sorority for a very long time, and I kind of just began to feel like every person I knew was a result of that. Everything was just full of tension and weird and awkward. I want real friends. I don't want people I was forced to be around with or, you know, found the good in even though I didn't like them that much. You know, I want to make some real friends who I bond with because we have common interests and beliefs and value systems. Save money. I think I'm a little bit late on the game on this. I think most people start saving money a little bit earlier. I just have never gotten around to it, and I've never really made a significant amount of money, but I don't want to let that stop me. Commit fully to vegetarianism. I right now consider myself to be a flexitarian. It's really hard for me to live by black and white rules. For a while now, I've mostly eaten a vegetarian diet, and then I would have meat maybe once a week or so. I had surgery. For some reason, after I got out of surgery, I was like, no more vegetarianism, all the meat! It doesn't make my body feel good. If you really think about energy and what we're absorbing, like we're absorbing torture and murder. Not good. I don't want that in my body. Start reading again for pleasure. College kind of ruined reading for me, so my goal is to read at least one book a month this year. Commit to my morning and nighttime routines. I feel like routine and habit, it adds stability, you know, to your life, and there's a certain level of comfort there that I want. Find a way to dance. I think there might be belly dancing classes, and I've heard there are salsa classes near my mom's house, so I might look into that pretty soon. Volunteer in my community. When I got to college and joined a sorority, that is actually one of the things I found very valuable, was learning the importance of giving back to my community and being involved and engaged. Create either a short film or a short documentary. And I feel kind of nervous about this, but I felt like because I felt nervous, that was a good reason to put it down on my list. I did study film in college. What I learned the most about film, it's not just for the elite. Film can happen anywhere. These next two goals are a little bit cheesy. They're to laugh more often and to love more deeply. As I've mentioned a few different times, college was rough for me, and I feel like I lost myself a little bit there, and I want to get back to a place where I am feeling happy and I can relax a little bit more and live my life without worrying so much and being so anxious. To be kinder in thought, because I don't know, I just feel like I'm sometimes a little bit too judgmental, and I'm really quick to react to things, and so I want to soften a little bit. The next part of this tag, the #1 product for 2014. My product was going to be a Revlon product. There was this article released about how the CEO of Revlon is hella racist, talking about he can smell a black person when they enter the room, all kinds of weird things. I don't feel comfortable listing that as a favorite anymore, unfortunately. Most loved show of 2015. For me, that would definitely be American Horror Story Coven. Oh my god. Most loved song of 2014. I don't think anything really came out this year that like was just the best to me, so I'm just gonna go with my all-time favorite song, X Factor by Lauryn Hill. What would be your worst decision or flaw of 2015? Really not listening to my body. I was really physically ill, and I just would not give myself the rest that I needed. It took me a long time to take a step back because I just want to do everything. Most visited websites of 2014. Definitely YouTube. YouTube was where it was at for me this year. And besides that, probably Twitter and Tumblr. Pretty typical. Alright, so that is it, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tag. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to anyone who has subscribed. I know that I'm kind of a newer channel. I literally have less than 10 subscribers, but it feels like a million. I'm super happy, so thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.